Hey Google, what is amigurumi?
According to Wikipedia, amigurumi is the Japanese art of knitting or crocheting small, stuffed yarn creatures.
Welcome to the Croterie. Today I'll be going through the Amigurumi basics of materials, stitches, and techniques. This is the first set of crochet hooks that I own. The sizes range from 0.6 mm all the way to 6.5 mm. So for the crochet hooks of 0.6 mm to 1.9 mm, they actually differ by 0.15 mm each, and the crochet hooks from 2 mm to 6.5 mm, they increase in 0.5 mm sizes. This set of crochet hooks also come with a pouch, which is very handy for you to just zip up and store it wherever you want, maintaining its dust-free condition. So the next set of crochet hooks that I own is actually these rubber grip ones, which I actually bought from Taobao. This helps to relieve the stress on your thumb itself. And the next one that I own is actually the one from Daiso. It is very similar to the previous rubber hooks version as well, and I will link all this in the description box below. So next up, I'll be talking about the stitch markers. So I have two different types of stitch markers. The first kind is where you turn and it will secure by itself, and there is only a very small opening at the end where the yarn can be inserted and removed. I usually use this type of stitch marker, the turn to lock kind, for indication of the first stitch of the rounds. So I can easily take out this stitch marker and transfer it to the next row when I need it for the next round. So the second type of stitch marker is a more secure version where you can lock it in place and the yarn will never come out. So the lock type stitch marker is useful, especially when I want to stop the project midway. I can just attach the stitch marker on like this at the open loop over here, and it will not come out no matter what I do to this project, and I can store it in a safe place and I can continue this project the next day. So next I have the embroidery needles. So for this set of embroidery needles, I actually bought it from Daiso. This is the one where the eye is the largest and the yarn can fit through easily. So I also have the plastic versions of these needles, which came as complimentary gifts when I bought the yarn. So this is the Imian milk cotton yarn, which is the yarn that I usually use for creating my amigurumis. This is suitable for the crochet hook size of about 2.5 mm. Another type of yarn that I use is the crown yarn. This yarn is actually at a higher price point than the milk cotton one, as it tends to fray less easily. And you also can see that the crown yarn is a thinner yarn as compared to the milk cotton one. The milk cotton yarn is a good alternative, but since it tends to fray easily, just have to ensure that you catch all the plies of the yarn, especially when you are crocheting. Slip knot. So just put two fingers over here, wrap your yarn over your two fingers, create a cross over here, and then pull up the loop and bring the tail under the top of the X and pull it tight. So this is the slip knot. So next I'll be talking about the chain stitch. To start off, just put in your crochet hook through the slip knot that you have created and tighten the slip knot. Twirl the yarn around your hand to ensure that there is the correct tension over here. Put the hook underneath the yarn, pull through the slip knot that you have created, and there you create your first chain stitch. So to continue chaining, yarn over, pull through the same loop, and you can continue this for as long as the instructions or the written patterns require. So after you have chained the length that you want, you can see that there is a very nice V braid that is created from the foundation chain stitch. So to do a single crochet on this foundation chain, you have to insert your hook in between the V's. Insert your hook into the second chain over here, yarn over, pull through, and yarn over, pull through both of the loops. So this is how you create a single crochet: yarn over, and pull through both of the loops. So to create single crochet on subsequent rows, just chain one and turn again. So now you can see that it is no longer the same as working on a foundation chain row. You can see that there are holes below the V shapes that you can see that is created by the single crochet second row that you have done. You can see that there is a V shape over here, and the bottom of the V is where you should put your hook in. So after chaining 1 and turn, insert your hook through the first hole, pull up, yarn over again and pull through both loops. Insert your hook through the second hole, pull up the yarn, yarn over and pull through both loops. So now you can see that you can get a nice single crochet over here, and you can continue all the way through the rest of the row. So to create a slip stitch, just yarn over, pull up the loop, and do not yarn over again, but bring this same yarn that you just yarn over and pull through the loop that is actually on your crochet hook. So yarn over, pull through, and pull through the loop that your hook was originally on. So now you can see that you can create a nice V over here without increasing the height of the row. So the next technique that I want to go through is actually the magic ring. So magic ring is actually the starting point for a lot of the amigurumis out there, for you to start working in rounds instead of in rows. So to create the magic ring, just create the slip knot that I mentioned previously. Make the X over here. Pull through the free end underneath the top of the X. Tighten your slip knot, and you'll get a look like this. So the magic ring is actually the adjustable loop over here, where it can get larger and smaller depending on the number of stitches you put in the loop over here. You can see that the left side of the loop is actually movable, but the right side is fixed. I will put the hook through the side that it is fixed and create the single crochets that I want on this loop. So usually when they say 6 single crochets in the magic ring, you just create 6 single crochets using this loop as the foundation. So I will just fast forward the 6 single crochets over here, and you can see that after I've created the 6 single crochets, it will look something like this. So after you create the single crochets, you just fasten this loop and pull as hard as you can to make sure that the hole in the center is as small as possible, such that you can barely even see it. So this is how you create a magic ring. So the purpose of creating the magic ring is to make sure that we can reduce the size of the hole at the center so that we do not see this in the end product. So the next stitch that I'll be going through is the invisible decrease. Insert your hook into the front loops of the next 2 stitches where you want to do the decrease. Yarn over and pull through. Yarn over and pull through both of the loops. The invisible decrease is important, especially if you want to get a very clean finish where the increase and the decrease rounds will look the same. Next, I will be going through how to do color change when you are crocheting in a row. Insert your hook through the next stitch and pull the old yarn, but don't yarn over with the old yarn. Yarn over with the new yarn and pull through both of the loops when you are completing the single crochet. For the stitch that requires the color change, do your single crochet with the new color of the yarn. So for example, if I want to change back to the brown colored yarn again, I will insert my hook into the knit stitch, pull through with the white yarn over here, and then yarn over with the brown yarn and pull through both of the loops again. Afterwards, I will continue with the brown yarn and create the next single crochet. So now you can see that you can get a very clean color change from here, because even the top V of the color change stitch is actually the same color as the V. So to ensure that the yarn ends are actually covered when you are crocheting in a row, you have to ensure that the yarn that is not in use, the end, is in between when you are doing the single crochet. This will ensure that there's a very clean look, and the yarn that is in between will be hidden with the stitches that you create using the single crochet over here. Next, I will be talking about color change when working in rounds. Insert your hook into the next V, yarn over, pull through with the old color. Take the new yarn color, yarn over and pull through both of the loops. So this is done the stitch before the actual color change. So in the next stitch, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, and yarn over, pull through both of the loops. So assuming that I want to change back to the brown color over here, after I yarn over with the old color, I will yarn over and pull through the 2 loops with the new color. Then in the next stitch, I will just do a normal single crochet over here, yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through again with the brown color over here. So now you can see a very clean color change where the standing V's are actually corresponding to the horizontal V's above for the 2 white stitches, and the 2 brown stitches are flanking these white stitches perfectly. I will be going through how to weave in your crochet after you are done. After you have cut your yarn and fastened off, use the needle to put your tail through. Keep the first V, go to the next one, insert your needle through, pull, and insert your needle through the previous V that it came from. This will help to close off the circle and create the perfect 2D circle with a virtually impossible to see end. So what if, after I fasten off the circle, I decide that I want another round to add on to this circle? Or what if I want to change a color while working in a spiral, but I don't want to see the spiral jagged edges? This is where we need the standing stitch. To do a standing stitch, make a slip knot, insert your hook, fasten, insert your hook under any of the V's, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through both loops. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through both loops. So the combination of the standing stitch with the weave in method to fasten off is actually very effective, especially for color changes for different rounds. This will help to prevent the jagged edges from appearing when you are working in a spiral, which we usually do for amigurumi.
Please like and subscribe for more crochet videos, and do check out my Instagram for more updates on what is under my hook. See you next time, bye!